I'm going to show you all how to do a back loop, or how to work in the back loop of a stitch. So if you guys are watching my other tutorial on how to do a front loop, these don't look too much different. I mean, you see that they kind of are getting worked and stuff, where it's got the lines, and you see the lines here. So it can be kind of tricky when it comes to just looking at it swatch like this and being like, that's this and that's that. But because it's more about the technique of how you do it, whereas like in the front loop, we worked in the front loop, and the back loop, you're going to work in the back loop. So I'll show you guys how to do that. So grab your yarn. You'll want to make a slip knot. Get your hook and put it in. Now you're going to chain 15. Alright, once you have your 15 chains, make sure to do count, make sure you have 15. What we're going to do now is we're going to skip the first stitch and work in the second stitch. So we don't count this one. This one's our first one, and this one's our second one. So we're going to single crochet into our second stitch there. And you're going to single crochet all the way across. Now because we skipped that first one, we should have a stitch count of only 14 instead of 15 because we subtracted that one. So do your single crochets all the way across and make sure that you have the correct number of stitches. Alright, I just finished doing all of my single crochets all across, and you should have 14. So you'll want to now chain 1 and turn your work. Now if you watched my other tutorial on how to do a front loop only, we only worked in that front one right here. So for a back loop only, or BLO, is what you'll probably see in a pattern. You're going to work in this back one right here. So right here, whereas we were working in the front one here. So that's why I was saying when you were looking at the two swatches, it was almost impossible to tell just from the way they looked, because it's more about the technique and how your work will work up, what you're doing, whatever technique. Because usually when you do a back loop, it's to prep you for something that's coming up next in the future rows. So in this case, we're just working just for practice, so it doesn't really show much of a difference. But we're just working into those back loops. So if you were doing the front loop only, you would notice that it was popping up behind. But in this case, we're having that loop pop up in front because we're missing that one. So you should continue to see a line all the way towards you instead of behind you. So just keep working all the way in the back loops only. Alright, once you've done your back loop, single crochet all the way across, you should have 14 stitches, and that's basically our repeat. So we did the single crochet all the way across for row 1, and then for row 2 we just worked in the back loop only. So for the next going forward, you will chain 1 at the beginning of every row, and then repeat row 1, and then repeat row 2. Just make sure you're chaining at the beginning of each row. So like that little swatch I showed at the beginning, as you keep going, you'll see your little bumps pop up there. And you can keep going and making, you know, a square, or you could make a scarf. This could be fun little pattern for that with the little bumps. So I hope this tutorial was helpful. If you guys struggled at any point during the tutorial and would like things more clarified, drop it in the comments below. If there's other tutorials you guys want me to cover, drop those also in the comments. I like to hear about all the different things that I can do for you guys and different content ideas. So until next time, guys, bye.